In the 1960s, the Plus Corporation was at the height of popularity, developing the latest research of its time. But after the 1965 outbreak in Butonic City, Plus was on the edge of investigation and forced into reforming. It is estimated 64,000 lives were lost that week during the outbreak, and 75% of the city was destroyed. Even worse, corporation CEO John Harkaman had died in the chaos. Soon charges against Plus were filed for their participation in the outbreak. The incident would come to be known as the Butonic Panic. And in the highlight, a new revolution began, known as the Viral Revolution, starting with the weapon that began it all, known as the V-Virus, developed by Plus. It would set the path for several outbreaks over the next 80 years, killing a total of 600 million globally. Public opinion would differ greatly. Corporation owners wanted to cash in on the viral revolution, while civilians wanted no more done than what had been done. Soon Plus began experiments on other viruses, known as N-virus and V-virus. The world was divided. Governments were handling problems from one to the next, and soon another virus broke out in Africa. And for Plus, their story would just be beginning. In 1984 and onward would begin a time of reformation. Viral reconstruction began in thousands of companies went bankrupt as the public had a new opinion. Plus would become a dominant power in their game. And eventually the USBO would be founded by the United Nations along with the BNSU and USDCI. General Alfred Edward would be appointed as director of the BNSU and would take on a very young man named Mason Reeds, a boy who lost his parents to biological warfare. But our story truly begins in 2013 within the mountains near Butonic City. You see, in the 1960s, John Harkaman of Plus Corporation had developed numerous viruses known as E-virus, A-virus and V-virus. These viruses were given to another company called Marlowe Industries. Through contract, Michael Marlowe of Marlowe Laboratories had developed an virus using these samples, but it wouldn't last long. 2 years later he was attacked at his laboratory under orders of Mason Reeds, who was appointed BNSU director some few years earlier. In 2020 a new threat was on the horizon, calling themselves Cogwell. It was a terrorist organization founded by a wealthy man named Daniel Waters, who owned the once famous Cog and Water toy company that is traced back to the early 13th century. Daniel believed that technology would destroy the world, and so wanted to show the world how deadly technology would be. All he needed was an investor. Luckily BNSU director Mason Reed invested in Cogwell, giving them orders to attack the newly developed Solar City. Mason Reed supplied Cogwell with samples of N-virus and 3 cruise ships that had secret laboratories on them, along with air vehicles to spread the virus through the air. The incident is known as the Second Butonic Panic, and soon afterwards Mason Reed would be arrested and the terrorists subdued. But Solar City was destroyed.